welcome to Rock and Pop Mandolin, RPM, your site for learning classic rock and pop songs on this lovely little 8-stringed instrument. My name is Mike DeJong, and in this video we are looking at another song from that contemporary superstar, Ed Sheeran. He's amazing, one of my favorite contemporary artists, and this song came out, well, just only a few years ago, as of the date of this recording here in 2022. This song came out in 2017. It's called Castle on the Hill, and it's a really wonderful song, some great lyrics by Ed Sheeran. I love this tune, and it's a lot of fun to play on the mandolin, so that lesson is coming up soon. But first, a little bit of business. If you're new here, thanks very much for checking us out. But don't forget to hit that little red subscriber button down there in the lower right corner before you leave. Also, if you are a returning subscriber, thanks very much for coming back and continuing with your support for this channel. We really appreciate it. But if you'd like to support us a little bit more by some donations or something, you can find all the links in the description box below. You can find links to a super like, which you can use to send me a small donation, perhaps buy me a coffee or a beer. That's down below as well. You can also check out all of my links to affiliates that I endorse or that I work with, and you can find a link to my new lesson series, Learn Rock and Pop Mandolin with Mike DeJong. That's a great lesson series for only $29.99. We'll get you going. If you're a beginner on the mandolin, you will be playing in no time if you check out those videos. But that's enough business for now. Let's take a look at this song by Ed Sheeran called Castle on the Hill for mandolin here on RPM. All right, Castle on the Hill is fairly simple. There's only a few chords here, but it does require some nice choppy staccato picking with your right hand if you're a right-handed player, and some palm muting even, which isn't so common on the mandolin, and I will explain that in a second. But first, here's the main chord progression here. So okay, so what are those chords? Well, we've got a D chord. Start off with that open D chord, second fret here of the G string, open, open, and second down there on the E. All right, your D chord, and then you're going to go to a G chord, but you're going to use a nice little passing phrase as well, or passing chord. I'll show you that in a second. First, I want to show you what I mean when I say we're going to use palm muting in this song. Okay, so instead of just strumming that D chord, wildly and openly, even though it's an open chord, you want to kind of mute it a little bit and get the rhythm down for this song. So what I do here is I put my strumming hand, my right hand, on the edge of the strings right here, just in front of the bridge. Can you see that? Right in front of the bridge there. You put your palm down here, which is why we call it palm muting, and then you're going to pick like that. You see the difference there? You're muting the strings, and it's very staccato. You can really chop the notes off like that if you put all of your pressure down there with your right hand, or you can pull it up slightly. You can even vary it up, which is what a lot of guitarists and mandolin players, well, actually not a lot of mandolin players, a lot of guitar players will do this. Not a common practice on mandolin, but here, listen. You hear the difference there? I'm pulling that right hand up just slightly off the palm muting sequence there. So the beginning of this song, Castle on the Hill, goes like this. You see that? Okay, so I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm doing all downstrokes here as well. So okay, so what did I do there? Well, I started off with that D chord, as I said. Then I did a partial F sharp chord here, and then ended up on a G chord. All right, so what's that partial F chord that I'm talking about? Well, here it is. 6th fret of your G string there, and 4th fret of your D. Okay, just those two notes, right? And you're really only going to play this for one beat, right? You're going like that, right up into the G chord, which is your standard G chord, right? 2nd fret on the A, 3rd fret on the E. Okay, so, all right, so that gets you, that F sharp gets you nicely into the G chord. And then from the G chord, you're also going to go, you're going to palm mute that and hit the very last beat is kind of more emphasized as you change chords here. So, okay, so one more time from the D. You see that last G goes to here, which is a B flat chord now. So it's 4th fret here, 4th fret, and 5th fret. And I'm just barring these two with my first finger and then catching that note there with my second finger. So that's a B flat chord. All right, from the G to the B flat. Okay, so one more time from the D. Let's look at the lick again. So D, G, B flat, and now same thing, B flat to A. Okay, you're just going B flat to A. And you can play your A chord either way, either of these two ways. One, just by barring the second frets there, second fret on the G, second fret on the D, you just play those two notes. Or you can bring in that C sharp note here, which is the 4th fret of the A string, so 2, 2, 4, and that actually works nice as a leading note into the D chord. All right, that is the chord sequence for the verses and for the chorus in the song. Now, I'll show you one other thing that might work that's kind of cool, that's a little bit different. I'll show you a little sort of diminished passing chord taking you back to the D chord. Now, Ed Sheeran doesn't do this when he plays this acoustically, at least I've seen from what I've seen on YouTube. However, the bass player is using a C sharp note to get back to that D. So you can do that on the mandolin too with a cool little passing chord. I'll show you what I mean here. So let's start with this. D, F sharp G, G, B minor, to A. Now from the A, go like this. You see that? So like this. Okay, so what is that chord? Well, you can do it two ways. You can just play a standard A chord here, which is the 6th fret of the G and the 7th fret and 7th fret of these strings. Or you can do a diminished chord shape here, which is, again, the 6th fret of the G and the 5th fret of the D and the 7th fret of the A string. So listen, this goes really nicely right back into a G chord. So you see like that? So it's got that C sharp note, which is your the note that the bass player is using, as I said, which gets you right nicely back into that D chord. Let's try it with that little diminished passing chord here. So right there, you see? One more time. Off the A. Like that. Or you could do that A chord as well. Let's do that. So G, like that. So that time I just did the A chord grip. I didn't do the diminished grip. All right, and the chorus part of the song is really simple, only 3 chords, and kind of in the reverse of the verse parts. It's G, A, D, G, G, A, D, G, and then they pause on the A. All right, so that's G, 2, 3, and again, I'm doing the palm muting with all downstrokes, but maybe you can loosen up on it a little bit and have a little bit more expression on the chords in the chorus parts of the song. Maybe not quite as muted as during the other parts in this tune. All right, so the chorus one more time. And pause or stop on that A chord, and then back in, I'm on my way. Like that. Finally, the only other bit in the song is a bridge part, which is kind of near the end of the original track, the studio track of Castle on the Hill. And again, it's utilizing the same chords, it's just in a different sequence. So this time he's starting with the B minor chord. Okay, so what's that? Well, that's the B minor chord once again. 4, 4, and 5. Then this time he's going to a G, right? Your standard G chord, as I showed you before, then the open D chord, and then the A chord again. All right, like this. Right, so just basically the same chords as the verse parts of the song, just in a different order. All right, that is Castle on the Hill by Ed Sheeran, another fun song to play on the mandolin, and fun to get that right-hand palm muting technique down under your fingers. Good luck with that. Thanks very much for tuning into this video. We really appreciate your support. Don't forget, if you're new here, hit that little red subscriber button. And if you're a satisfied returning subscriber, thanks for coming back. But don't forget to check out all of the support links I have in the description box below. My name's Mike DeJong. Thanks again for watching RPM.